Many people believe that throwing away leftovers is just part of modern life. But Japanese culture offers a different philosophy, one that sees waste as a quiet loss and every scrap of food as something still worthy of respect. In Japan, there is a word that stops people mid-action, right before they throw something away. That word has saved households billions of yen, transformed the way millions cook, and it might change the way you see your own kitchen forever. The average American throws away nearly 1 pound of food every single day. In Japan, that number is less than half. Not because they eat less, but because of a philosophy that is older than most countries. The Japanese word mottainai is often translated as, "what a waste." However, its meaning goes beyond simply lamenting wastefulness. In Japanese culture, mottainai expresses a deep sense of regret over not fully appreciating the value of something, whether it's an object, resource, or opportunity. It also carries an underlying respect for the inherent worth of all things, encouraging mindfulness and gratitude in everyday life. This concept serves as a reminder to use resources wisely and honor their true value. The concept of mottainai is deeply rooted in Buddhist philosophy, which teaches respect for the inherent value of all things. In this tradition, every object, resource, and even food item is believed to possess its own dignity. Rather than treating items as disposable, Buddhist teachings encourage mindful appreciation and careful use. This perspective fosters a sense of gratitude and responsibility, urging individuals to honor what they have and avoid unnecessary waste. By embracing these principles, mottainai becomes more than just a call for conservation. It reflects a profound reverence for the world around us. In Japanese households, the concept of mottainai serves as an unspoken instinct, subtly shaping daily habits and choices. It encourages people to finish their meals and save leftovers, reflecting a deep respect for resources and the effort behind them. However, mottainai does not imply that one must force themselves to eat everything on their plate. Instead, it inspires mindfulness and appreciation, guiding individuals to avoid unnecessary waste whenever possible. The principle of cooking only what your body truly needs is rooted in mindfulness and self-awareness. Inspired by the Japanese concept of Hara Hachi Bu, this approach encourages eating until you are about 80% full, rather than indulging in excess. By preparing just the right amount of food, you not only honor your body's natural signals, but also help prevent unnecessary food waste. This mindful method ensures that each meal is both satisfying and nourishing, promoting a healthier relationship with food and the environment. Japanese home cooking is characterized by its focus on modest portions, where each dish is thoughtfully measured to provide just the right amount of nourishment. This approach ensures that meals are prepared in harmony with the actual needs of those eating, rather than producing excess food. By carefully planning and portioning from the outset, leftovers are minimized without encouraging overeating. The result is a dining experience that values balance and mindfulness, reflecting a deep respect for both food and well-being. Method 2. The art of remaking what remains. When leftovers do appear, and they always will, the Japanese kitchen has an entire tradition built around transforming them. Not reheating, transforming. Cold rice from last night becomes Ochazuke, a comforting bowl where green tea is poured over rice with seaweed and a pinch of salt. Leftover vegetables become Furikake, a crispy, savory seasoning that is sprinkled over fresh rice. Day-old rice also becomes Chahan, Japanese fried rice, where every scrap of vegetable and egg finds a new purpose. In a Japanese home, leftovers are not a burden. They are the starting point for tomorrow's meal. The ingredients are the same, but the dish is entirely new. This is where mottainai becomes creative, not restrictive. The constraint of having less forces a kind of inventiveness that abundance never inspires. You may notice all of these techniques share one thing. They never ask you to eat the same meal twice. Method 3. Save what gives everything its flavor. Perhaps the most powerful example of mottainai in the Japanese kitchen is dashi, the foundational broth that underlies almost every Japanese dish. Dashi is made from 2 ingredients, kombu, a dried kelp, and katsuobushi, dried bonito flakes. After making dashi, the kombu and bonito are never thrown away. The softened kombu is sliced and simmered in soy sauce and mirin, a side dish called kobumaki. The leftover bonito flakes are mixed with soy sauce and sesame, another seasoning called okaka. Both become the next day's accompaniment to rice. One ingredient, 3 meals, 0 waste. This is not frugality born from poverty. Japan is one of the wealthiest nations on earth. This is frugality born from philosophy, the belief that discarding something with remaining value is a small act of carelessness that, repeated daily, becomes a large act of disrespect. If these Japanese philosophies resonate with you, the idea that less can be more, that simplicity is not deprivation, then consider following this channel. We explore these quiet traditions every week, bringing Eastern wisdom into everyday Western life. Method 4. Protect what you save. Mottainai is not only about using everything, it is also about protecting what you have saved. In Japanese, there is a clear distinction between miseru, to show care, and hochisuru, to neglect. In a typical Japanese refrigerator, leftovers are stored with intention. Each container is labeled with the date. Items are arranged so the oldest food sits at the front, not hidden behind newer items. The goal is visibility. What you cannot see, you will forget. What you forget, you will throw away. This simple habit, labeling and organizing, cuts food waste by an estimated 30% in Japanese households. Not through any special technique, but through awareness. Mottainai begins with seeing what you already have. So far, we have explored cooking, remaking, saving, and protecting. But there is one more layer, and it may be the most important. Method 5. Express gratitude before you eat. Before every meal, many Japanese people say, Itadakimasu. This word is often translated as, I will receive. But its deeper meaning is closer to, I humbly accept the lives of all beings that made this meal possible. The farmer, the fish, the rain, the soil, the hands that cooked. When you begin a meal with this awareness, throwing food away becomes almost impossible. Not because of guilt, but because you have already acknowledged the journey that brought this food to your table. Itadakimasu is not a prayer. It is a moment of recognition. And recognition changes behavior more effectively than any rule ever could. The paradox of modern Japan. There is, however, a paradox worth acknowledging. Modern Japan is not perfectly free of waste. In fact, Japan produces approximately 5 million tons of food waste every year. Convenience stores discard unsold bento boxes by the thousands each night. The culture of freshness and presentation, so central to Japanese cuisine, sometimes works against the philosophy of mottainai. This is the tension that exists in every culture, between principle and practice, between what we believe and what we allow. But even in modern Japan, mottainai remains a word that carries weight. It is spoken in kitchens, in schools, in parliament. It was championed by Wangari Maathai, the Kenyan Nobel Peace Prize laureate, who learned the word during a visit to Japan and made it a global call for sustainability. Mottainai is not a practice that belongs only to the past. It is a question that belongs to every moment. What still has value here? These habits may seem simple, even insignificant at first, but together they form a quiet philosophy that nothing with value should leave your hands without gratitude, that the scraps of today can become the meal of tomorrow, and that waste is not just a loss of food, it is a loss of awareness. Which of these mottainai practices will you try first?